Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the November 2nd edition of Carolina Week.
I'm Julianne McKellogg. Election day is on the horizon, and I'll tell you about a couple of big local races.
We'll look at how town officials tried to limit the crowd at homegrown Halloween.
In sports, women's soccer looks to regroup in time for postseason play, and why the football team has new reason to believe.
Weathercaster Katie Craven will tell us if we can expect these cold temperatures to stick around for the rest of the week.
All that and a mother and son graduating in the same year.
Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Voting day is tomorrow, and there are some important elections in town. Good evening, I'm Lauren McGaha.
And I'm Chris Neal. Thanks for joining us. We'll definitely have one new mayor near campus, and could have two. Julianne McKellogg has been following two mayoral races closely and joins us now live in our studio. Julianne, it sounds like change is coming soon in local politics.
It is, Chris. For the first time in 8 years, Chapel Hill residents will elect a new mayor, and Carrboro residents will decide if they'll keep current mayor Mark Chilton in office for another term. First there were 4, but now there are only 3 left in the race for Chapel Hill's mayoral seat, after candidate Kevin Wolf dropped out on October 15th. That leaves Matt Chakowski, Mark Kleinschmidt, and Augustus Cho. Kleinschmidt and Cho are both UNC graduates. Cho and Chakowski are both from immigrant families, and all 3 currently serve either on the town council or another one of the town's boards. Chakowski has run a strong race with more than 200 donors and a hefty campaign fund of $23,000. The Daily Tar Heel endorsed him for what the paper calls his fiscal prudence and emphasis on growth. He plans to concentrate on issues including high property tax, business development, and the revitalization of downtown. Kleinschmidt has also received some notable support with endorsements from current Mayor Kevin Foy and former Mayor Ken Brown. He plans to focus on issues including the management of the town's budget in this recession, in addition to the placement of high-density development. Cho brings a diverse background to the ticket as a retired Presbyterian minister, businessman, Taekwondo instructor, professor, writer, and now civil servant. He plans to address the issues of panhandling and parking, economic development, and supports both Carolina North and the renovation of University Square. Next door, in neighboring Carrboro, incumbent Mark Chilton is hoping to win his 4th term as mayor. Amanda Ashley is the political novice, and Brian Voice is the businessman and community activist. But they find common ground on issues such as environmental preservation and business development in Carrboro. Voice believes the current town government isn't properly addressing business needs. Ashley wants to be sure Carrboro citizens benefit from the town's financial resources. And Chilton hopes another term as mayor will help advance his greenway and bike path initiatives. All 3 candidates have skipped out on the sign war taking place in Chapel Hill to focus on getting the votes by going door to door. Look for live election returns tomorrow night. Students involved with the Carolina Journalism Network will be covering the key races. You can click on that streaming coverage starting just before the polls close. We'll be working until all the results are in. Okay, Julianne, we know about the mayoral contest. Tell us about some of the other races on the ballot tomorrow. Well, Chris, there are 3 seats up for grabs on the Chapel Hill Town Council, 4 for the Carrboro Board of Aldermen, and 3 for the Carrboro Chapel Hill Board of Education. All right, this is Julianne McKellogg reporting live in our studio. You can log on to our website, carolinaweek.org, to view the candidates' platforms and for tomorrow night's live coverage. The polls open tomorrow morning at 6:30 and close at 7:30 p.m.
Some people don't have to worry about when the polls open tomorrow. They've already cast their ballots. More than 2,300 residents headed to the polls early this year, twice the total from the election 2 years ago. Voters in Orange County were able to take advantage of early voting until 1 p.m. Saturday. Of the 3 candidates in the running for Chapel Hill mayor, Mark Kleinschmidt and Matt Chakowski appear neck and neck in the latest poll. Because of that and other tight races, election officials predict the high turnout will continue into voting day.
The race is also on for UNC's next homecoming king and homecoming queen. The process has come under fire, but student leaders say they're working out the kinks in time for Saturday's coronation. Campaigning in the pit might look the same as it has in past years, but homecoming director Courtney Brown says complaints regarding the election process have forced organizers to change the selection system. Some candidates complain that the required interview process keeps the student body from directly electing the king and queen. Brown says next year they're hoping to make the homecoming elections more similar to those of student body president and CAA. In those races, candidates simply have to get a certain number of signatures to be on the ballot. This year, the CAA re-interviewed candidates and is allowing everyone who made it through the interviews to campaign.
I feel like there's no way that anyone can question the legitimacy of their crown, because it's been, you know, we've taken into consideration the concerns. We're not just letting them go to the side like it has been in the past.
And if you take a look here, here's your candidates for UNC's 2009 Homecoming King and Queen. Ronald Redmond, Desmond Rowe, and Lorenzo Hopper are hoping to become king, while Carly Brantmeyer, Rhea Davis, and Anera Robinson and Katie Miller are running for queen. You can vote for Homecoming King and Queen this Thursday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Student Central.
One UNC student is in the hospital after a tree fell on campus this afternoon. The tree hit at least 2 students. Paramedics treated one at the scene, but neither has serious injuries. Observers near Mitchell Hall say they heard a loud crack, and in a matter of seconds, the tree was down. No word about what made the tree fall. Crews spent the rest of the afternoon cleaning up the mess.
UNC has just received 3,800 H1N1 vaccine doses as its first batch of the initial 28,000 ordered. The doses are distributed to faculty, staff, and students who are healthcare workers and to pregnant women on campus. The vaccine comes in the form of a nasal spray or a shot. Most individuals will receive the nasal spray because the university only received 800 shots. Clinics are scheduled for Tuesday and Wednesday in the lower level of atrium of Hooker Building in the School of Public Health, and on Thursday in room 219 of the Brinkhouse Bullitt Building in the medical school. H1N1 rapidly produces symptoms, usually within 3 to 6 hours of exposure. These symptoms include fever, chills, aches, and pains.
The UNC budget cuts may be affecting us all, but some students are especially feeling the pain due to statewide budget cuts. About 300 UNC students lost the spring portion of a state grant called the NC EARN. This is a need-based grant valued at $2,000 each semester for up to 2 years. The North Carolina General Assembly initiated NC EARN back in 2007, but doesn't have the means to continue funding it. UNC plans to make up for the lost funds by awarding affected students with more work-study opportunities and loans. Despite the lost funds, Senior Associate Director for Financial Aid Tabitha Turner says it could have been much worse.
That's really a small portion of the grants that we receive. So we were thankful that it wasn't, the cuts weren't deeper.
Turner adds that the number of work-study jobs at UNC exceeds the number of students who qualify for the program. She recommends setting up an appointment with a financial aid advisor if you're having trouble finding a work-study job.
Now, Lauren, I had so much fun on Halloween, and I saw some crazy costumes on Franklin Street Saturday night.
You know, you're right, and there was a huge crowd. Coming up, a look at how crazy this year's Halloween festivities got on Franklin Street.
Frozen Peas, respected member of our community for years, determined to always do just the right thing, committed to support the growth of our children, and effective at lowering bad cholesterol. Frozen Peas, courage, integrity, fresh ideas. This message paid for by the Friends of Frozen Peas.
If you're not voting, then who are you electing?
One day these rats were playing in the woods. Wanted some matches and that's no good. Listen to smoke before you give it a try. Only you. Don't play with matches. Don't play with fire. Cause there's nothing very funny about pretty frostbite. Nothing very nice on a homeless mind. So if a gorgeous force is what you desire, don't play with matches. Don't play with fire.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Fire.
You know, so I was just thinking, just trim the ends just a little bit.
I got it from here, Monsieur Salon type guy. Hey, today everybody is Pixie Cut Day. We're gonna take it real short, and then we're gonna dye it. Jet black. The look that says, I scribble dark lyrics in my journal.
No pixie cut.
It just says, I've got issues.
I don't have issues.
Well, you will after this haircut. Pixie cut it is.
I
Yes.
don't want a pixie cut.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Masquerading students look forward to making an appearance on Franklin Street every year. Saturday night, Chapel Hill celebrated homegrown Halloween. Elizabeth Lamb and 50,000 of her closest friends were there.
Chapel Hill police say nearly 50,000 people flooded Franklin Street during Chapel Hill's Halloween bash this year. That's more than 15,000 than last year, despite the town's efforts to limit the monstrous crowd. Student Body President Jasmine Jones says efforts to keep homegrown Halloween successful and the crowd smaller might have been threatened because Halloween fell on a weekend.
Because it came on a Saturday, and a lot of people like to do things on a Saturday, but I'm pretty sure next year, if it happens on like a Tuesday or a Thursday, they will see more of the homegrown effort.
As part of the town's vision for a safer Halloween, student spotters gathered for the second year in a row to help keep Franklin Street safe and get medical assistance quickly to students if needed. Assistant Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs Winston Chris spoke to volunteers about staying safe, and groups patrolled zones on campus through the night. This year, police presence on Franklin meant only one arrest, down from years past. This freshman noticed the smaller crowd, but it still did the trick for him.
I expected complete pandemonium, and I'm not seeing like absolute craziness, but I like what I'm seeing so far.
Even though more people came to Franklin Street than last year, Jones says safety remains a top priority.
I definitely saw there were a lot more people on Franklin Street, but I felt like Franklin was more under control.
Jones also says because Halloween comes only once a year, town officials will have plenty of time to start planning for next year's Hallowed Eve. In Chapel Hill, I'm Elizabeth Lamb, Carolina Week.
Officials say they will consider re-evaluating homegrown Halloween for next year because this year's crowd was so much larger than last year.
Some people put on Halloween costumes one day early this year, all for a good cause. Sounds of laughter and music filled the ballroom at the Carolina Inn on Franklin Street as Franklin Street Yoga hosted the first ever Eve Ball. The costume party raised money for the Eve Marie Carson Scholarship, and everyone who was anyone turned out for the event. John and Kate, the Phantom of the Opera, and even Medusa. Student Body President Jasmine Jones appeared as the guest judge for the costume contest, and she was pleased to be a part of something that honored Eve's legacy.
Halloween can involve more tricks than treats, but that wasn't the case for some of Carborough's youngest residents. Local kids gathered at the Carborough Commons to celebrate Halloween in a night full of games, costumes, and prizes. Fairies, vampires, spacemen, and many others enjoyed games like Hoop the Unicorn and a treasure hunt in the hay, while others chose to just draw. Volunteers helped with each of the games to make Halloween night special for the little ones. The town of Carrboro hosts the carnival each year. Organizers say the idea behind the carnival is to bring kids from diverse backgrounds together. Well, you know, Chris, it seemed a little chilly when I woke up this morning, starting to feel like fall.
That's right, Lauren, and Katie Craven is here to tell us if these temperatures are going to stick around. Katie?
Well, hey, Lauren and Chris, yeah, I'll tell you, you're definitely not the only two who has noticed the drastic change in temperatures we've seen today as compared to this weekend. We saw some really unseasonable weather patterns this weekend. But with the cooler temperatures, students and faculty have been able to get outside and enjoy the fall atmosphere that is upon us and the fall foliage. Coming up in your full forecast, I'll tell you what you can expect for the rest of the week.
You should wear a tie. Dad, nobody wears ties to school.
Tie says you're serious. It'll make a good impression. And remember, you're there to
make something of myself.
Almost half of all UNCF students are the first in their family to go to college.
And I'd make sure that I got my lunch.
Dad, you're not going. I am.
I know.
And when you're the first to go, you're going for a lot of people. The United Negro College Fund, a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Come on, boy. Come on. What do you got there, Yogi? Huh? What have you found? What do you got, little fella? Drop it. Looks like someone's butt. Yeah, they probably lost it playing with their kids. Hey, leave it. Come on. Come on.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Have you been a dad today?
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm Katie Craven. Let's take a look at what's making your weather headlines on this Monday afternoon. A cold front is in the process of moving into our area, and that will bring us much more seasonal temperatures throughout the rest of the week. And good news is we have a sunny stretch as far as our weather conditions go for the remainder of the next few days. Let's take a look at your current radar right now. We can see a few scattered showers just offshore of our area. This is the disturbance that moved through this weekend and brought us some really soggy weather on Sunday. But as of right now, clear conditions over the Carolinas. Good news for everyone as far as that is concerned. Let's take a look at the current surface map right now. Here's this high pressure system that's located just to our west. And this cold front that extends down the Texas Panhandle will continue to move closer to the East Coast. And this is what will bring us that clear run with the weather over the next few days, as well as some cooler temperatures that is in store for us. Well, of course, we started a new month this weekend, so let's take a look at the November almanac, usually what we can expect for this time of year. Maximum temperatures right around 63 degrees, minimum temperatures 38, and as far as precipitation goes, we usually see around 3 inches throughout the month of November. I don't think we'll add to our rain bucket this week, but of course we have plenty of time to catch up in the next month. All right, if you're taking a trip or two around North Carolina for tomorrow, let's take a look at your Tuesday travel plans across the state. For Asheville, you can expect highs around 61 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Areas near the Blue Ridge Parkway are seeing their peak fall foliage season as of right now. Beautiful conditions out that way. If you're headed east towards areas near Wilmington, you'll see highs around 69 degrees, mostly sunny skies, and some patchy color as well. Well, while we're talking about the leaves changing, let's take a look at your fall color report. Areas in the Piedmont are near peak right now. Mountain areas, as far as North Carolina and Virginia is concerned, are right around their peak season right now. However, West Virginia is past peak. Nonetheless, it is easy to say that there are some beautiful conditions around the Carolinas as of right now. All right, for tonight, if you're out and about, expect mostly clear skies. A chilly night is in store for us. 41 degrees in the Triangle as well as in the Triad. 46 down in Fayetteville for tonight. For your Tuesday, mostly sunny skies. Morning fog is possible. Motorists, please be advised if you're out and about in the morning, take extra precautions. 67 in the Triangle and in the Triad as well. All right, here's your Carolina Week 5-day forecast. Tuesday, there's the run with the sun we see throughout the rest of the week. Highs Tuesday right around 67 degrees. Overnight low of 38. For your Wednesday and through the rest of your week, expect cooler conditions to stick around, and we'll see mostly sunny skies.
All right, Katie, well, sounds like a good week ahead. Thanks so much.
Yeah, definitely cooler week is in store for us.
Great to see some good skies, homecoming week. It's great to see some good weather.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right, thanks, Katie.
Just because Halloween is over doesn't mean the wild and crazy fun has to stop. Students are strapping on their heels, setting up the lights, and working out for Pauper Player's first musical of the semester, Wild Party by Andrew Lippa. UNC students rehearsed for months, teaching themselves their own songs and dance numbers. Their performance of Wild Party will take you back in time to the Roaring '20s, a time period filled with romance, alcohol, and scandal. The stage is lit at the Union Cabaret tonight and tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And now, sportscaster Nick King joins us. Nick, it was an exciting game on Thursday night.
Yeah, Nick, the boys, I'm hoping they got their spirits back up, ready to go into the rival game against Duke this weekend.
Yeah, I think so. And the fans, kids around campus, singing a different tune about TJ Yates now, too.
That's right.
Coming up after the break, why people are still talking about the jerseys the football team wore the week before against Florida State.
Mrs. Johnson, good to see you again. This is Mike. You can trust him. He looks just like you.
I'll be sucking up to you in order to make you sign the loan.
So, here are your low monthly payments and interest rate as we promised. Here's where they triple. The rest of this is really just here so that we get your house when you can't pay us back.
Such a lovely house.
Predatory lenders are never this easy to spot. Call us and protect yourself with the facts.
Hey there. Hi. I haven't seen you before.
Yeah, I just moved here. I'm new. Wanna hang out or something? 'Cause I have a feeling we're gonna be best friends.
Things can get pretty ugly when you're bored. In an after-school program, you can find something way better to do.
Welcome to Carolina Carolina Week Sports. The Carolina football team is showing signs of life again. And here's the good news. The 3 biggest reasons for their success should carry on the rest of the year. Reason number 1. A healthy starting offensive line played together for the first time since week 1. And the way they battled through the noise and the false start penalties in Blacksburg, well, they can handle any other stadium. Reason number 2. Greg Little. Give me the ball and watch what I do with it. The Heels put in a new package called Gobble in honor of those Hokies, and Little was getting the ball in the backfield, taking reverses to the tune of 96 total yards of offense. Finally, a willingness to stand behind their QB. Give TJ Yates a chance to make plays late in games. Greg Little said it best.
It's a famous quote, that's my quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And just to have him, step up, that's what a leader's got to do.
So, if the line stays healthy and Yates and Little are put in positions to make big plays, well, Little knows what he'll keep saying to opposing defenses.
I told him, kiss the baby.
Kiss the baby. That's Greg Little quoting Chad Ochocinco's phrase meaning, it's over. And speaking of football, when the Heels faced off against Florida State, they sported all navy blue jerseys. However, not everyone was a fan of the change. Our Vanessa Rojas gets to the bottom of the big blue blunder.
Steering away from traditional Carolina blue, who decides what color the team wears?
The jerseys are picked essentially by Coach Davis. He does consult with our athletic director, Dick Bedore, and they meet and have discussed it, but the jerseys are, and the uniform is selected each week by Coach Davis.
Mm-hmm. This season, fans aren't just talking about the football's performance. These jerseys have brought up a lot of controversy. Hate it or love it? Duke blue or Carolina tradition?
Well, actually, when I was listening to the channels, I didn't realize it was Carolina playing at first because it wasn't our usual jersey colors, so I'm not sure if I like it.
Navy blue is part of the Carolina colors. The team has worn the navy blue jerseys in the past. Do the players even like them?
And it's something that the players like, recruits have loved it. We've got an awful lot of positive feedback. It's not something that we're going to do on a regular basis all of the time. We might do it once a year, we might skip a year, we might not do it again.
Students at UNC have different opinions. Some say that they don't like them because of the similarity with historic rival Duke.
I don't know. I've looked at Duke. Their uniforms, they're basically an almost identical copy to the Indianapolis Colts. It's a totally different shade of blue, totally different color.
Okay, so what do you think about the navy blue jerseys?
They look like Duke jerseys?
They do?
Yeah.
For Carolina Week Sports in Chapel Hill, I'm Vanessa Rojas.
I don't think it looks anything like Duke, but no matter what your opinion is, the Heels will not be sporting the navy blue anymore this year. Coach Anson Dorrance and the women's soccer team are known for one thing around here, winning. So losing 3 games in a row, not happening anytime soon. Last Thursday, senior Casey Noguera switches this one to junior Jessica McFarland, E-I-E-I-O, 2-0 Heels. The Heels won that game 3-0, stopping their losing streak at 2. And for seniors, it was the last time singing the alma mater in front of the home crowd. For Caroline Bonaparte, it's singing Carolina Blues.
I love this place. I love everything about it. I love this team. I love the school, and I'm going to be really sad when it's over. So couldn't think of a better place to be.
Volleyball team also feeling a bit blue in the middle of ACC play. Friday, athletic director Dick Bedore looks on, showing his support for the team. Heels taking care of business early. Here's Brannigan Fuller with the strike. She had a career-high 18 kills. Heels take the first set 25-19, but it was all Georgia Tech after that. Jackets swarmed around the net, taking early leads in each of the next 3 sets, and the Heels just couldn't get it going again, losing 3-1. Saturday, Ramsey's got into the Halloween spirit, and the Heels looked scary good early on. Check out Suzanne Haydell, get it on. Then Fuller again, no ma'am. But the Tigers managed to claw their way back. They have some serious hops. In the end, it was too much for the Heels as they fall 2-3. The women's swim team has only one loss all season. It's been a promising start. This is Katie Keel you're seeing right here. She came up big for the ladies with wins in the 100 and 200 meter breaststroke. Now this is the men completing a 1-2-3 sweep in the 200 meter butterfly. In diving, that's Jenna Moore looking swan-like. She won the women's 1 meter dive, and there's Che Malvasio, took third. Splish splash, both teams brought home victories. So, guys, I think the biggest news, football team looking good again, feeling good for this homecoming weekend.
We're glad about that. We're ready for it.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Lauren, for most students, graduating in 4 years is a big accomplishment.
That's right, Chris. And for others, getting that diploma might take a little longer than originally planned. Actually, a lot longer.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
The less art kids get,
Good job.
the more it shows. Are yours getting enough? Art. Ask for more.
He'll be a senator with integrity.
He has my family's future in mind.
He cares about young people.
He's a hard worker.
He's focused.
Effective. I believe in Old Relish Packet.
We need a condiment with values.
He'll represent us well in Washington, and he is so good looking.
Old Relish Packet and I were trapped 50 miles behind enemy lines. He saved my life.
This message paid for by Citizens for Old Relish Packet.
If you're not voting, then who are you electing?
Currently, only 2% of UNC undergraduates are older than 30.
For one of those students, graduating with a Carolina degree means everything, even if she's had to wait for nearly 3 decades to complete her classes. Jordan Harris has that story.
30 years later, Carolina student Kim Hill finds herself back on campus to finally finish what she came here to do in 1978, graduate.
I joked the first day of class, and I told them that I knew a lot of kids took the 5-year plan, and I was taking the 30-year plan.
Hill lives in Kinston, North Carolina, but that doesn't stop her from driving 4 hours on Wednesdays to attend a 3-hour history class. Was it a hard decision to decide to leave Carolina?
I just didn't know what I was doing, and I just needed a break, so I quit. I didn't come back my senior year.
In 1982, Hill got married, and then she had 2 sons. But living in Kinston put her dream to one day graduate from Carolina on hold again.
It was just too far away. It's 2-hour drive, and I didn't want to graduate from another college. I wanted to graduate from Carolina.
Hill's oldest son, Justin, graduated from UNC in 2008. Now he's teaching English in South Korea. But when we talked on Skype, he said he told his mom she could take the 8 classes she needed for graduation, mostly online. Hill started taking online classes in January 2008. Now she's taking the only class she needs on campus, and walking into class that first day wasn't easy.
I knew it was going to be a small classroom, and people were going to wonder what I was doing here.
Hill is one of about 400 undergraduates older than 30. Hill will graduate in May, the same time her youngest son Trevor graduates from NC State.
I guess we'll be doing it together, about a week apart.
The main thing you want to gain from finishing your degree?
Not to be a quitter, just to know that you finished what you started.
Once May rolls around, Kim Hill will finally be able to say, I graduated from Carolina. In Chapel Hill, I'm Jordan Harris, Carolina Week.
All right, that does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thank you so much for watching. Good night.